Good evening, everybody, and happy July 4th Eve. We're going to have a little fun tonight. I'm sure if you watched me before, you know I like to get things on discount. I like to save money. So after Christmas, I know it's been a while, but I bought these red and white cake mix boxes I think I got it for like 15 cents actually. And then I got these chocolate disc drizzles. Again, I got them like 10 cents each or something. So I was going to make one thing, but then I was like, I don't have all the ingredients. So I'm going to make a red, white, and blue cake. Now, I'm going to make them lemon flavored though, because I love lemon. I'm going to make my cake. I'm going to make the red and white. I'm going to make with lemon zest and lemon juice instead of water. I'm going to use 2 eggs in each one, and I'm going to use a 1/3 cup of oil in each one. Okay, so that's the cake mix. Now, the icing, I'm going to use cream cheese. I'm going to use a stick of butter, and this needs to be room temperature. I'm going to use the lemon zest and lemon juice from this. I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla and almond. I'm going to put a little almond in here as well. And I am going to try to decorate. I'm going to dye some of the icing blue. Well, I'm going to dye the icing blue, and I'm going to save some in white, and I'm going to try to make some stars and then use the chocolate and the red and drizzle it around. I'm not a cake decorator. So we are going to have fun trying this out. If it doesn't turn out, as I said before, it's still going to be edible. May not be pretty, but hopefully it'll actually be pretty. So I'm going to get the cake mixes started, and I'll be right back. Okay, just real quick, I did the lemon zest. I did half of the lemon zest in the white and half the lemon zest in the red. And then I squeezed half of the lemon. You need a 1/3 cup of water or lemon juice and a 1/3 cup of oil in each one. So I got about a 1/4, so I'm going to add the rest water. I'm going to get this mixed up, get them both mixed up, and I'll be right back. And just to add a little bit more to make it have more of that homemade taste, I'm going to add a little bit, about 3 drops of almond and a cap full of vanilla, just to kind of like make it, you know, like I said, have more of a homemade taste versus a box cake. Okay, so now we've got our red. Look how pretty that is. That turned out to be a really, really pretty red, and white, which is gonna be, it's kind of yellow, but it'll look more white once it's baked. So I've got my Baker's Joy in my pans. I'm gonna get these in there. They're gonna go in the oven at 350 for probably about, let me see, about 30 minutes. I'll check it in about 15-20 and see how it's doing, but it says 30 minutes, so we shall see. While that's baking, we'll go ahead and make the icing. Like I said, your cream cheese and your butter should be at room temperature or softened, not melted. So I went ahead and I did my lemon zest in here. I'm going to get these creamed together, and then we're going to start adding in our powdered sugar and our fresh squeezed lemon juice and our other vanilla and a little bit of almond. So let me get this creamed together, and we will go on to the next. Okay, so that's creamed together. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add just a couple of drops of almond, about 3 or 4, and then we're going to add a teaspoon, or a cap is usually, plenty enough. And we are going to start adding in our powdered sugar. Now you're going to start with 3.5 to 4 cups. And you're going to get them mixed in, and you're going to add as needed. I'm not going to put the lemon juice in yet because I want to make sure that the icing doesn't get watered down, because I do want to pipe some of it. So I don't want to add that too soon. So as you can see, it is pretty thick. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of lemon juice, and always use fresh squeezed if you're going to use it. Artificial flavors are okay, but they will have a tendency to taste, to change the taste of what you're doing. So now we're going to add the rest of our powdered sugar. I'm going to get this mixed up real good, and then we're going to pull some out before we start adding in the food coloring to make our blue, because again, I want to make some stars with white, and I'm going to have the icing blue on the cakes, since it's red, white, and blue. All right, so the cakes are done. As you could see, they have pulled away from the edges, and when you push it, they bounce back. This took 20 minutes. It didn't take 30 minutes. So I'm going to move these over here and get them cooled while we finish making our icing. Okay, so since I have my piping bag, and I bought this little thing, I think I got it off of Temu, to be honest with you. But it helps you so you can, you always see people trying to force down their icing. So I'm going to go ahead and put some white icing in my piping bag, and then we'll color the rest. So I'm just going to put some of that. I'm just making stars, so the main is going to have to be for the cake. So I think that should be enough right there. And so when you pull this off, see, your icing is like that. And you're just going to work it down. All right, so I'm going to get this ready over there for when I start icing. This should be my star tip. I'm not sure. Again, if it looks horrible, I'm not a decorator, but I'm going to try. Now for the blue icing, I don't know how many drops this is going to take, so we are just going to start with about 10 drops or so. Get this stirred in. I don't want to use too much food coloring because, again, I really don't like changing the flavor. So I'll probably keep it. I might put a few more drops, but this is actually kind of pretty. I might put a little bit more and leave it with this marbly look. What do y'all think? See the marbling look? All right, well, I'm gonna get this finished done. I'm gonna get this finished up, and as soon as the cake's cool, we'll get them iced up. Everybody, so here's for the fun part. So I'm going to, I've got my red, white, and blue. I'm going to get these two iced, and then we are going to drizzle some chocolate, and we're going to do a few other things. So let me get these iced. I'm gonna put together, and then we'll go on to decorate. Since I'm 7 minutes in, I'm going to go ahead and, as I've said before, I'm not a cake decorator, so I'm just going to do some real quick and then show y'all the finished product. I've got this gold sugar, and I'm just going to, now it's not going to work. Oh, well, I was going to do some gold sugar, and if I could get, the gold can didn't work. So I showed you this earlier. You melt this, and it's a red vanilla. And I'm going to try to do a drizzle. Again, I'm not a cake decorator, but I did see this on YouTube. Oh, well. Basically, y'all, don't be afraid to do stuff. Especially if you have stuff in your cabinet and you're like, I'm not going to use this. At some point, just pull it out and go, you know what, I'm going to try it. All right, that's probably not going to look as good as I'm wanting it to. But once I'm done, I'll show you. Everybody, I told you I'm not a cake decorator. So before coming at me about how horrible my cake looks, because it didn't drizzle. This says Choco Drizzler. So I thought once I heated it up and I went around the cake, it would drizzle, it would it would go down the sides. It didn't, okay? But it turned back into a hard vanilla chocolate, which tastes good. But, yes, it's not the most beautiful cake, but it's going to taste good. I promise you that. So, I was going to wait till tomorrow to cut it, but my son has a couple of his friends. My grandson has a few friends over, so I'm going to go ahead and cut them a piece and see what they think about it. Again, don't come at me for my decorating, okay? Don't do it. I know I ain't professional. I just, I enjoy baking. So, okay, look how pretty that is. You got your red, white, and blue. Let me get the guy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, guys. Taste it. Okay, first thought. Okay. Okay, what you think? You're new here.
It's good.
Is it good?
It's good.
All right. It's ugly, y'all, but it tastes good. Happy 4th.